Hello, folks. Welcome back to my channel. This is Horror Town. Today, I have another Halloween horror movie review as part of my Halloween-a-thon review series for the month of October. And today, we're going to be looking at the fifth movie from the franchise, titled Halloween 5: The Revenge of Michael Myers. This movie is an American slasher film that was released in 1989. It was co-written and directed by Dominic Othenen Gerard, according to Wikipedia, and it stars Donald Pleasence, Danielle Harris, Ellie Cornell, Bo Starr, as well as Wendy Kaplan, and Tamara Glenn as well. So, this is basically the fifth film in the franchise, and obviously, it was released, a year after the fourth film. It was kind of, from what I've read, it was sort of rushed into production by one of the producers. And basically, yes, this is a direct kind of sequel to the fourth film, right? In the sense that it takes over exactly where the fourth one left off. A little like Halloween and Halloween 2, right? You have basically the the series of events that happen right afterwards in the next movie, right? So it's pretty much how it is, right? A sequel, right? The continuation of what happened before in this movie, right? So, what is this movie about? So, shall we get into it? So, basically, it's obviously on October 31st, 1988. Michael Myers was basically, you know, he was confronted by police. I'm gonna try not to spoil too much or anything like that, but it might be a little bit tough to not to spoil the previous film. So if you haven't watched it, yes, you might have it spoiled to a certain extent, but I'll try my level best not to spoil the movie at hand, right? So basically, Sheriff Ben Meeker from the as well as the Illinois State Police confronted Michael, and well, to cut a long story short, as they were basically, you know, about to kill him, he manages to escape, right? And now he's basically in search of his niece once again. You know, the, well, I don't want to tell you who it is exactly, but basically, yes, he's still looking for that person because, he knows that person is still alive and he wants to go back to Haddonfield and, proceeds with his search and hunt her down and find her. So basically, yeah, this is pretty much how it is. Meanwhile, Jamie, one of the main characters, is basically being treated at the Haddonfield Children's Clinic after basically some pretty scary episode happened at the end of the previous film. I won't tell you what it is because I want you to find out for yourselves if you haven't watched it. But it was pretty big, to say the least. And basically, she's still suffering the aftermath of that. She's kind of mute. She doesn't speak, right? She's still visited by her sister Rachel, along with one of her friends. Her name is Tina Williams, and basically they go and look, check in on her, check up on her, and make sure that she's okay. And yeah, I guess she's showing some signs of improvement, but she's yeah, she's still recovering, right? So she's showing some progress, but at the same time, yes, she's still kind of reeling from what happened to her. And yeah, and there is something else in this movie about one of the characters. There's some kind of a psychic link, or it says actually not telepathic link, right? So basically, one of the characters. I won't tell you who it is, but basically has this kind of thing with Michael. And well, needless to say that it is a big part of the movie, but I'll let you find out for yourselves who it is and how exactly it works because I wouldn't want to spoil it too much or anything like that. But basically, needless to say that Michael is going to resume his killing spree very soon. after he basically escapes from where he was. And now, obviously, he's going to be wreaking havoc once again in the town, in town, and many people are going to end up being killed, right? And there's going to be that kind of Halloween party at a place known as the Tower Farm, where a lot of people are going to be, a lot of, youngsters, teenagers are going to be hanging out. And this is going to be kind of a big part of the movie, right? And there, the horror, the bloody work is going to begin with Michael as the killer, obviously, as the one behind all of that nightmare. So this is pretty much it. Then, of course, we have Dr. Loomis, who's still trying to find Michael and kill him once and for all, right? So he's gonna be kind of trying his level best to find him. Also, there's Sheriff Meeker, who is gonna be assisting a little bit as well. So they're gonna be really looking for that monster, Michael Myers, to try and stop him once and for all, and for preventing him from finding his niece, his long lost, relative, family member, before he does something wrong. So they're gonna be trying their level best to stop him once and for all before it is too late. So I guess this is pretty much it for Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. What did I think about this movie? I loved Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Actually, I really love these two films, Halloween 4 and Halloween 5. I believe that they are definitely the best ones in the whole franchise. It's just excellent, especially the way it is shot. This movie was shot a little bit later, around the 90s, right? Very late 80s, almost early 90s. So it is so excellent, especially the way it is shot. It feels like a Friday the 13th film, to be honest with you, the way it is, you have basically the stalking scenes, and it takes place in this movie. You have some scenes in the daylight, which I thought were pretty good, especially when you have Michael Myers stalking. And the way it is so good. I really, really enjoyed it. It was so awesome. So I really enjoyed the whole Halloween vibe, the whole kind of progression as the story goes on. One of our main characters, Jamie, and how she's still kind of trying to piece things back together, so to speak. She's being treated, she's just a child, but she's making progress, and I liked that kind of plot, that kind of character development. So I really thought that Halloween 5 is definitely a masterpiece in the history of horror. And I do know that many people didn't like Halloween 5 for some reason, and everybody's entitled to their own opinions, of course. I'm not trying to judge or anything like that. But Halloween 5 is such an underrated flick. I really enjoyed it from beginning to end. It is so good. The actors and the characters, which we will get right now, are so awesome. So who are the actors and the characters? So we have who are the actors who played the characters, right? It makes more sense to put it like this. So we have Donald Pleasence once again as Dr. Sam Loomis. Yes, Sam Loomis, I obviously kind of fell in love with his character after on maybe in the second film. In the first film, not so much, but ever since the second film was, released and happened, and I've watched it, I really loved ever since Dr. Sam Loomis. He's definitely one of my favorite characters, and he's so determined. And in this movie, at some point, he's gonna do something, you know, with one of the policemen near the end, and then he's gonna do something, involving a gun. And I won't tell you what it is. I'll let you find out for yourselves. But he's pretty funny. He's gonna, break something at some point. And then when the policeman goes to confront him, he pulls something. I won't tell you what it is. I'll let you find out for yourselves. But really, Dr. Sam Loomis was so good in this film. Donald Pleasence did an awesome job as Dr. Sam Loomis. Then we have Danielle Harris, who plays Jamie Lloyd. Once again, Danielle Harris did an awesome job, and she was very young at the time. She was just a child, right? And yet she definitely managed to give, very good performance as part of the, since her character was a big part of the movie, she really, really followed through. She really was able to, you know, perform well and do pretty good on camera, especially for an actor that's young, especially in the '80s, the late '80s. It's not always easy, but she definitely, you know, did well. Then we have Ellie Cornell, who plays Rachel Caruthers. Yeah, Ellie Cornell also in this film was pretty good. I really, really enjoyed her performance. I thought that she was good. She was once again, you know, very kind of, you know, very kind to her foster sister. She's very, you know, she's very helpful. She's very, you know, attentive to her needs. She's such a good sister. But then obviously, you know, as the movie goes on, well, you'll find out for yourselves. But she was pretty good. Then we have Bo Stars, Sheriff Van Meeker. Once again, he was pretty good. I really enjoyed him as the performer there. Then we have Wendy Kaplan as Tina Williams, who was pretty good, I have to admit. Yeah, she was really good. She's, you know, one of the main characters of the movie too, and yeah, I really enjoyed her performance as well. Then we have Tamara Glenn, who plays Samantha Thomas. Jeffrey Landman as Billy Hill. Don Shanks and Michael. Don Shanks, sorry, plays Michael Myers. You know, and as well as somebody else, you know, the Man in Black. I'll let you find out for yourselves who it is, but basically you have a Man in Black in the film at some point and you don't know who it is, who that person is, and this adds to the mystery, and you see some scenes with them, you know, kind of with that figure kind of walking and stalking to a certain extent, but you don't know who they are. I think it's part of the whole movie's mystery theme, right? Aspect. Then we have Jonathan Chapin, Jonathan Chapin as Mike, who is one of the boys, right, in the movie. Then we have Matthew Walker Spitz. We have Max Robinson as Dr. Max Hart, Betty Carvalho as Nurse Patsy, Troy Evans as Deputy Charlie Blotch, Frank Como as Deputy Nick Ross, sorry. Then David Ursin as as Deputy Tom Farah. Sorry about that. I don't know why I just said this, but yeah, most of the actors were pretty good. Yeah, I really enjoyed also Billy. I believe that yes, Billy Hill was one of Jamie's friends at the clinic. You know, he has that stutter, but he's very young, and you can definitely tell that he cares for Jamie. And the two of them are gonna become kind of fast friends, you know, buddies. And it's kind of cute, you know, to see that, you know, he really, you know, it seems that he really cares about her. And at some point, they're gonna be kind of in danger together, and this really adds to that kind of, you know, I liked that, you know, friendship theme in the movie. But yeah, Halloween 5, I guess I said everything I wanted to say about it, and it was pretty good. There are a lot of animals in this movie too, I have to say. Perhaps I could mention that. So there's a big black Doberman at some point. I believe it's Tina's dog, right? And yeah, it's terrifying, right? I mean, this big Doberman is like the big Dobie is, you know, kind of big, you know, obviously for a dog that size. And, you know, these dogs are known to attack sometimes, and you have that dog barking its head off at some point, and so on and so forth. It is definitely terrifying, you know, to me, especially because I'm afraid of big black dogs, especially, you know, the attack breeds. So I would definitely be scared if that were me. I mean, for a Halloween film, I mean, this definitely would maybe scare me much more than Michael Myers, I have to say. Then we have some kittens at some point in a barn. The barn scene in this film near the end. You have some cute kittens, and I thought that this was really such a sweet thing to have because I love cats. You know, I'm a cat, you know, lover, so to speak. You know, I love these pets, so it was really cool having them there in the movie. And I'll let you find out for yourselves what is the context and so on and so forth. But this was pretty good, right? So I guess this is pretty much it for this movie. I really enjoyed all the characters, and they did a pretty awesome job, you know. So yes, there are a few characters that, yeah, I haven't mentioned too much. So Samantha Thomas, who is played by Tamara Glynn, was pretty good too. She was the blonde girl, if I'm not mistaken. And in one of the scenes, she's with Spitz in the barn. And well, something is going to happen. But yes, perhaps this is going to bring me to another topic, which is about, since I mentioned all the characters, I believe, all the main action, I have to speak about the kills. The kills in this film were pretty good, pretty elaborate, pretty scary, pretty gory, pretty graphic. So I have to say that, again, late 80s, early 90s, this is going to be, you know, the time for slasher films, especially to really kind of develop and emerge, especially the Scream movies. I Know What You Did Last Summer, these kinds of flicks. And obviously, you can tell that in this movie, you know, the way it is shot and everything seems very different. So we're going to move closer to that time when, you know, blood and gory and graphicness, graphic scenery are going to be a big part of the horror of the horror genre. So in this movie, yes, there's a lot of blood. There's a lot of, yes, there are some scenes that are just, you know, very painful to watch. But I guess it's part of the Halloween, you know, vibe. You know, this is part of what Halloween is about. You know, you have to, you know, there are scary, graphic, brutal scenes, and yeah, this is pretty much how it goes, especially with Michael. Yes, his mask, though, on the other hand, I didn't really. I think that in the fourth and fifth film, yeah, his mask is not that awesome, sadly, compared to the previous movies, maybe the first and the second, his mask was so good. But in this one and the previous one, it sounds a little, you know, less scary for to a certain extent. But I still liked it. And the movie poster with his mask like that is really good. But yeah, so this is pretty much how it is. And then, of course, there's the final twist near the end. And I'll let you find out for yourselves what happens. But I really enjoyed it. And it definitely ends with on a creepy note. So I really enjoyed that as well. But yeah, Halloween 5 is pretty good, awesome. It's excellent, as a matter of fact. I loved it. I cannot think of a single thing that I really didn't like about this movie. Like I said, this is pretty much like the straight sequel, the direct sequel to the fourth film. So if you have watched the fourth film, and you gotta watch this one, and even if you do watch them back to back, it feels like one big horror movie, right? Like a long Halloween film, but a Halloween film nonetheless. Halloween, pretty much like how Halloween and Halloween 2 worked, even though I have to say that Halloween 2 is my least favorite for now of the Halloween movies. I just didn't feel that awesome about it. Halloween 2, yes, I know that to many people, to many from you, many of you, you know, it might not be so, you know, so cool hearing me, you know, saying that, but this is just the way I feel. I didn't love Halloween 2 that much. But Halloween 5, on the other hand, Halloween 4 and Halloween 5 were awesome, and I really would like to give this movie a solid rating. So if I were to rate this movie on a scale from 1 to 10, I'll definitely give it a 10 out of 10 because it's excellent in my opinion. I loved it. I loved everything about it, the way it progresses, the beginning, the opening scene, the development of it all, and the way it progresses and the way it ends. It's just awesome, especially the scenes at night are so scary. So I really enjoyed this movie. I loved the heck out of it, and it's really a good movie to be watched during the Halloween time, you know, like now in the month of October. And yeah, it's basically a cool movie to watch with friends and family, perhaps, you know, to enjoy the experience a lot more. You know, when you have other people watching it with you, sometimes you can enjoy it to a different to a certain different kind of level, right? So I guess this is pretty much it for me for this review. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, 10 out of 10 is excellent. And I know that I've already awarded, you know, as rating 10 to the third, fourth, and the fifth films. And then you might ask yourselves, which movie did I prefer? Actually, I could get into this once I get to the rating get to the, not the rating, the ranking of the movies. Since I could do that at some point, God willing, I'm not sure, and I'm not entirely sure when because I have to watch more of these films. But once I do, yes, I'll let you find out for yourselves which one is my favorite. Because even though I gave a lot of tens, it doesn't mean that I love them exactly the same. Maybe there's one that stands out a little bit more for me. But the point is that it's excellent. This is why I give it a 10. This is why I give it a 10 because I think that this movie is just too good. Too good, and one of my favorite Halloween movies of the franchise. So that's why I give it a 10. But as for my favorite, it's kind of tricky. Maybe the third, maybe the fifth, maybe the fourth. I'm not entirely sure, so I have to get back to you on that. So yeah, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, 10 out of 10 for me. What about you folks? What did you think about Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And please check out my other friends' reviews on for the Halloween movies. Their names are Michael, and his channel is Night of the Living Dude, as well as Strange Grayson. And both of them have, reviewed the Halloween movies, and they did an awesome job. I believe that they reviewed maybe all of them. For some of them reviewed all the films of the franchise, while some others, well, sorry, well, I believe that it's either Michael, I believe, might have reviewed all the films, and Grayson reviewed up to the eighth, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, they definitely did an awesome job. So this review is definitely up in their channels if you check it out. As far as I'm concerned, I have to say that I'll probably take a little break with the Halloween movie franchise and the reviews. Not because I want to, but because I haven't rewatched the other movies for now, and I'm not familiar with what happened, so I would have to rewatch them before reviewing them. So I guess in the meantime, this might be the last Halloween movie franchise for this month. But yeah, I will try my level best to review the other ones and not do that. So I will try my level best to get my hands on, the other movies and review them as soon as possible. But for now, Halloween 5, this is where it ends. And God willing, I will take over once I've rewatched the other films of the franchise and give you, good reviews, God willing. So in the meantime, this is pretty much it. This is where it ends for me for, this time around. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, right? So this is my last review, probably for the month of October, but I'll try my level best to review the others, maybe in early November or something like this. I will try as best as I can. So this is pretty much it for this review. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. In the meantime, folks, well, this is when I'm going to end this review as, around, it's going to be a 25-minute review, probably. But yeah, this is where it will end. So feel free to let me know in the comment section down below about your thoughts on Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Did you like it? Did you hate it? And also check out another awesome YouTuber, an awesome reviewer. His name is Rambler for Life. Rambler for Life. And I'm pretty sure that he reviewed this movie as well. He reviewed so many horror movies and franchises. So I'm pretty sure that this one will be on his channel, and check it out. He's an awesome reviewer as well. So I just wanted to give him a shout out too. So yeah, this is pretty much it for it. So thank you for watching. This is Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Awesome review. Awesome movie, sorry. And good review if I do say so myself. But yeah, this is where it ends. So let me know in the comment section down below about your thoughts and views on this movie. All right, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me during that time for these Halloween movies. I know that, this is, there are so many, and it's always so good to review them. But yeah, it can take some time, to get through the whole franchise. But thank you for sticking out, for staying with me, and being here. All right, folks. Thank you, and goodbye. Take care, and happy Halloween.